Howdy, Caleb here, and I'm ready to review Notify Me. So to get started, no, I'm ready to get started for real. All right, Alexa, I think that's how you pronounce your name. All right, Alexa. All right, so I went through your website, Notify Me, monitoring websites that matter to you. So, I'm in the industry, so I know basically what you're going for with website monitoring. And you're probably targeting people in our industry and websites and design and dev. So I think that's a positive for you is you're not going to have to really explain too much as far as like what does this service do. The only thing you'll have to explain is the specific feature offerings that you have, the pricing, and why someone should choose you versus a competitor. So I did a couple of things. One, I went through your website. Two, I screenshotted it and brought it into Figma just to take a look, and so that I can add notes, and I will give you both this and the video recording to go along with it. So I screenshotted your website. I also grabbed a few competitors to take a look at how other people are all also pitching this type of product. But let's start on the live site. So we have Notify Me notify-me.rs. That's a little bit of a difficult domain name, and I had a hard time recalling what it was, even though I already knew it was called Notify Me. But with the hyphen in it, and then the unusual top level domain, that's tricky. If you could come up with something more normalized, I think that would be better in the long run. But it's also not a top priority. Logo, name, domain, favicon, not top priority. Top priority is creating a product that people want, getting customers, getting feedback, and getting paid. So I know what your product is and is doing. So I see some of the content, I see some of this, easy to use, track sites quickly and easily, all in one place, intuitive notifications, a testimonial, three testimonials made for journalists, website owners, and then you repeat that again here, ready to start monitoring, get started, and a footer. So I think the big thing that sticks out to me is that I don't think this, as a general design and layout, is competitive enough to go against what your competitors are doing. So for one, it's text and block color centric, so or heavy. So your sections have a lot of color blocks, like zebra striping all the way down the page, and then you have a lot of text. And then the images you do have, one, I realized later, are actually GIFs, and so they're swapping views, and they're very small and easily get lost. So I really think you need to vamp up the imagery that you're using throughout the site. Also, when it comes to doing zebra striping, the best, a good rule of thumb, so you're doing every section is light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. A better way to think about it is groupings. So you have a hero section here. So that's one. Then you have easy to use website monitoring tools. So then this is like a feature section kind of. And then you have, so this is basically a feature, I guess. And then you have track sites. So that's a feature, a feature, a feature, and a feature. Testimonial. So the reason that I think that's off a little bit here, you have 4 feature sections, but they're very disjointed because of the the zebra striping background color. That, and they each take up so much space. I mean, that's a solid 50% of your real estate on the site page, where features, they shouldn't be that large. You could condense this and have them side by side, or maybe you can have like a headline and some text, and then you can have smaller boxes for different feature sets. Or you can have, there's a number of layouts that you can use, but something that helps keep the features contained as one. That's going to help you out a lot. Now, this is what I typically go to for like my standard landing page. When we talk about landing pages, we kind of use it as a very loose term. There are multiple types of landing pages. There's the classic sales page where you don't have a navigation. It's a whole lot of text, a very long page, and it's selling something direct to you. Another landing page type that we use the word for is the homepage of a website. And then I think there's this type of landing page, which is you're offering us one product, like a SaaS, and it's not such a large business or offering that you need a whole bunch of different pages, and you have one primary page. So like, even if I look at some of these competitors, Visual Ping doesn't really have very many other pages. UptimeBot is starting to have a lot more pages on the inside, and then this one, which I don't know what it's called, has a lot more, even more pages to the site. So I like when you're early on, or when you're providing one specific product, you can be very targeted, keep everything nice, clean, and simplified, and focus on what you are offering. So let's compare this to my typical recommendation. So we have our above the fold content, and that's anything that you see or the visitor sees at a first snapshot when they land on the page. So it's probably something around here, like 800 to 1000 pixels. And above the fold is a very controversial topic sometimes in our design world, but it is a real thing. And so you need to understand and know what the message is, the initial message that someone sees when they first land on the page, and then build cues and content that makes them want to continue to scroll down the page. And an interesting research fact that I've seen is on desktop, people scroll, but they don't scroll as much. Like, so they start dropping off 50% of the page all the way to the bottom, and it gets down to like 10% or so. If you ever used Hotjar or some other tool like that, you'll see that. On mobile devices, people scroll a lot farther. So that's a really interesting distinction, even though mobile pages are a lot longer typically because of the stacking. So hero section, above the fold, your headline text, you have that, some subtext, a visual, that's what you need, social proof if you have it, and a CTA. This is your social proof right here, so that's good. I think you can make that nicer in some ways. So maybe I think you could add plus signs here because it's always changing. I don't know how often you update that, but something like that. Monitor websites that matter to you. This is the idea of a good headline, but it's missing something that matter to you. That just seems a little bit squishy, like squishy language. So I think you can make that better, as well as getting a different type of highlight that makes your primary your primary text that you want to highlight interesting. So maybe it's a full highlight, or it's a wiggly, something like that's stronger. For this secondary text, this is too long. You want it to be 2 lines at most. And Notify Me is a simple web monitoring and tracking tool that will send you updates when a web page you are interested in changes. Track jobs, products, product prices, news, and articles, and more. So I think this is the right idea. You might just need to clip this off, clip it right here, and you could rewrite this text to be a little bit sharper, and make the font size smaller. I'm not going to go too much into specifics on layout and design. There are a lot of examples out there. Even these, I mean, this just has a headline. I wouldn't recommend that. You want a little bit more. I mean, this is like spot on right here for setting up a centered hero section. So I would consider something like that. I think you also need to make this much more interesting. And you can do that, I think, by basically this. Like, I like this one a lot. So that's gonna give you the visual that you need to show, but also it's a CTA and a action. So like, this is okay, you know. Here's your button, start monitoring in 30 seconds. What I would like to see here is this not sending me to a register form, which it does right now, and so does this. I would like it to go straight into monitoring if it can. So I actually want to see a URL field, a button that says start monitoring, and then like something that makes it contained and stand out from the other text and whatnot, so that it has a focal point to it instead of just kind of like fading into the background. And so I want people to be able to type right here immediately, like indiehackers.com. And that's interesting that it grabbed that text. Let's do that, make it smaller for now, and then I want to hit start monitoring. And I want that to go like to the dashboard or something like that. And so you can see the actual end product. And maybe you're not actually pulling data or something, but you could have the dashboard that they're going to end up on. You see that URL right here with the text already in it. And then you do like a fuzzy fade, like a fuzzy image back here. So you have like some stats and stuff, but it's all blurred out. And then there's like your box that says like register to get started, something like that. And so that way you're getting them into the flow immediately. Now, if you can go ahead and run stats and stuff on it, and that's not too costly on your end, I mean, that would be even better. You know, send them directly here, and then they basically need a register. Like, they already have their stats set up for one URL. They need a register at that point to save their dashboard setup. Okay, so that's the hero section, and we talked a little bit more beyond that. Below the fold, you need several things. You need logos. You always need logos, testimonials, a product demo, features and objections, use cases, more social proof, FAQs, pricing, a second CTA, and a founder's note. Now, that seems like a lot, and it is. And this isn't like a hard and fast rule that you have to do each of these. Take it upon consideration of your product and your site and what you need to do. But look, this is one thing that must be big and bold and loud. These are like not insignificant numbers. These are very significant numbers. So if you have 1,600 users already, I want to see more than 3 testimonials. There needs to be, I mean, you should have 100 plus. Now, they don't have to all be on this page, and they shouldn't be. So like, what I like to show, you see I have testimonials here, and I have more social proof. So what I like to do here is show 3 powerful ones side by side that's the downfall of this type of testimonial viewer, where you're only showing one at a time, for a couple of reasons. One, you can't even see these dots. You can see these arrows, but it doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. You have testimonials. So this is a person, this is their product or business, and then this is too much text. You want it to be like at most 3 lines of text. You want to get their profile photo in there. That's a huge helper. Even if you use a fake UI photo, you can get those somewhere because they don't want to share their actual photo. That's fine. Connect their name and their business together. I would also link it. So I don't know which of these is supposed to be the product, but I would add an external link for those. And then you want to show more than one at a time. Oh yeah, I said this was too much text. So if they write something that's really long, then you just need to hone in on like what's the most powerful part of the text, even if you have to rewrite it a little bit or get their permission. Let's see. 1 year later, I forgot. Let's see. Yeah. So it could be like a client's domain went down without me noticing it. Notify me, detected an outage, sent me. Actually, it could just be this. Forget this one. Okay, reading this now. So I acted quickly and resolved the issue. Boom. That's the quote that you want to use. It speaks into the problem and how your product was the solution. So what I would recommend here is you have 3 testimonials up top, close to the top, and then down here you have more testimonials, and I would say 7 to 12. And then if you have even more, then you have an actual dedicated testimonial page, and you can list 100. I know there are a lot of tools to help manage this. I've recently tried Senja myself. I see a lot of other people using that one as well. But you need to make testimonials a priority because you can. Like, you have customers. So whether that you need to beg, prod, or offer discounts, do whatever you can to start gathering those testimonials and make it easy on yourself and your customers to give you testimonials. So use some sort of form field. All they have to do is answer, fill in the text for the field for the form, and you automatically get your testimonial set up. Product demo. This could be a video, a short video, less than 50 seconds. It could be a live demo. So maybe you have like 3 examples that are public facing that are not locked behind someone's account. And so you could like show these 3 different examples side by side for different use cases, and they could actually click on that to see the live dashboard and the history that it's created. Features and objections. That's basically what you're doing for these sections here. I think you just need to be more organized and in how you're laying it out and blocking the features next to each other. Because if you have a whole lot of features, you can have large feature sections where you're talking about features, or you could do like 2 side-by-side features. Or if you have a whole lot, like if you're Notion and you go look at theirs, they have a lot of tiny features. So then they have multiple, like maybe like 4 little boxes per row of different features with just like some text and a tiny image. So I would recommend something along those lines. Now, also, when you have snapshots, so I think one thing that I'm picking up on now that I'm looking at this, like whenever I look at this image card for your product, it looks too much like it blends too much into the background of this web page. So I'm not getting that idea that, hey, this is a snippet of the application, that the SaaS app. Same with this. Like, this looks more like a snippet from a SaaS app. And this doesn't at all. Like, it completely fades in. So the way to handle that is, like, sometimes having the browser Chrome, not Chrome browser, but the browser wrapper around some of your content helps. That can help with that, or making it just really clear that this is an image and there's some graphics hovering over it, some like a montage or a collage, something like that. Now, I also go ahead and use like some real text. Okay, so like not my cool site. Maybe put this above here, but make it I don't even know what, a blog post or something real that that is reputable. Like, maybe it's Tesla homepage. Let's do that, because that changes over time. You like to, it's good to know that kind of stuff. So make this Tesla homepage, and then here's the link to that right above it, and that's more interesting than just like a made up website name. And then same thing here. So, put Tesla here, put media, just different websites that represent, it could be a job posting. So use your examples for use cases and reference those here. And so it's not just made up stuff. I would also go show active as much as possible, but also show the other examples, but maybe just one of each, because you want to, and if increase the active so it's like there's like 4 greens, 1 red, and 1 yellow or orange, whatever color that is, to make it look very more positive. If you make that a green check mark too, that would probably be a benefit. So yeah, this one I didn't know this one was a GIF for a while, but I want to see, like, make this much clearer that what's happening and what's changing. So that's why I put these 3 boxes, because I think there were like 3 states here. Intuitive notifications. Okay, notifications are color coded. Show me each state. So like newly added text here, removed and modified, something like that, where I can see all of them at the same time. When we have rotators, people miss all that other information. So bring those out, make them very visible. Use real text names here. If you can do images, I'm not exactly sure. If you're just doing text changes or if you're doing visual changes. That would be interesting to know and make very abundantly clear. Testimonials, I already talked about that. So this is where, like, you want to have a testimonial wall of several testimonials. Let's see, did anyone else do it here? So this one has 3. That's more like at the top, like what I said to do at the top. Okay, so no one else has a wall of testimonials or anything like that. All right, I'll just go to Senjo to show you that example. So here's their hero. They have a lot of people. You could do this too, right here. You're getting testimonials and you're getting ratings from people. You could have this widget. And so these can be just fake UI faces from the internet, used by 1,200 plus people. So they got some demo stuff. They have logos. They have 3 testimonials. I mean, this is a testimonial SaaS, so they better know what they're doing. They have features and objections. And let's see. Grow faster, share. Yeah. And then look at this. This is using their own software, which is an embed, which you don't have to do this. but it's an option. So you embed right here. You use their software to gather all the testimonials, then use their embed to plug it into your website, and it feeds in automatically. So I think that something along those lines would be beneficial to manage your testimonial gathering and display. Made for website owners. So I didn't like this headline because this kept rotating and I didn't realize it. And so the first one was something really strange, at least for me. It was NGOs maybe. And I was like, NGOs. But then I read these and I was like, oh, that makes more sense. So I don't even know if you need to have all this extra explanatory text or for. You could just be like, made for, who's it made for, whatever like that. And then just make it like a big, easy to read, spacious list of persona types. I think another aspect that goes in with who is it made for is what it's made for. So who and what. So this is where you can put in a longer list of jobs and site changes, outages, status, whatever all those others are. I thought I read a list somewhere besides these: job posting, product prices, news articles, and more. So that's one place that you wrote it. But you could also just list those, because part of what you want as far as when it comes to the use cases and the who is it for is when you have visitors reading through your site or scrolling through your site, you want them to see those keywords that speak directly to them. So the who, DevOps, product manager, job seeker. The what, job post, website status, uptime, monitoring, what's that fancy word? Not revision, not recursion. Something about changes, visual changes, regression, maybe visual regression, something like that. Regression testing. Yeah, that's it. So if I'm scrolling through and I'm a back-end developer, I'm a DevOps, and I see that listed here, and then I see regression testing, boom, I have my exact use case ready to go. So the CTA here needs to be improved. This needs to reiterate everything that you're saying up here, but in a slightly different way, but with the same purpose to get started monitoring now. Start monitoring now. So I think that gives you a good amount to work with. I'm going to send you this video, but I'm also sending you a link to this Figma file. You can see in the sidebar, or you can access all my other reviews here as well. So if you want to look at that, let me show you what that's going to look like. If you open this, and if you haven't used Figma before and you open this in your browser, so it's going to look something like this, and it's kind of confusing. You wouldn't know that there's more content unless you hit this little drop down logo over here, and then you can see all the other reviews that I've done previously and get some ideas from those. That one's not showing the images right now, still loading. But I'll give you this so you can always look through all these other ones, get some ideas. But I think, this is something that a lot of people use. It's a tool that a lot of people use, and you have a lot to offer with it. Oh, pricing. All right, let's squeeze in pricing really quickly. Pricing. You didn't have it on the homepage. You don't have to, but if you're using the homepage primarily as your one pitch page, you could do that. So I think you have too many pricing tiers, and I would reorder them and rename them. So this one, don't call it starter, just call it free, and put it at the beginning, free. Change it. Track 3 sites. 1. Checks every 8 hours. Checks every 24 hours. Checks every 2 hours. 8 hours. That doesn't seem right. based on the essentials paid is 24 hours. So maybe that's wrong. I would make this at least every 24 hours, if not more. 1 week might be too much. So maybe every 24 hours or 32 hours, something like that. 24 is just such an easy number to go with that people understand. Regular keywords, email, notifications. Okay, let's see. Essentials and standard. All right. You need to rearrange this. Free at the beginning, then essentials, then standard, then professional. But you also need to change the names. This needs to be free. This needs to be starter. This needs to be pro. Wait. Let's see. Free, starter, something, and then pro. Essentials. Maybe this one needs to be essentials. Standard is... I think so. The way that you're pricing it is standard is more important than essentials. I don't know. It's just kind of confusing both ways. So I would do free, starter, expert, and pro. I don't know. You figure out those last ones. But make this one site for the free one. For the second tier up, make it 3. For the standard tier, the third tier, make it 10, and for the pro, make it unlimited, but crank this number up. This should be checks every 1 hour, smart keywords, unlimited channels. I wasn't really sure what the channels were. I'm assuming it's email, text and email, and Telegram or something like that. Same with it, or Slack. That's my assumption. So you need to say something about what types of integrations, of channel integrations there are somewhere. But put this at the end. Bump it up, make it unlimited, checks every 1 hour, smart keywords. I'm not sure where the smart keywords are coming from. That's something that I would like to have explained. Regular keywords and smart keywords. I'd also, so we're talking about sites. Compared to the other competitors and some site monitoring tools that I've used, I know it's usually like you're putting in a specific URL and not necessarily just the Apex domain, and it's not like capturing all the pages in a domain. So I think I would make that a little bit clearer. So this might just need to be URLs. So track 1 URL, track 3 URLs, track 10 URLs, or maybe this is going to end up being more if you make this one unlimited. So consider that, and if that can be improved. And pricing, so free, and do track 1, check every 24 hours, email notifications only. Essentials, $5, too low. So I'm just going to talk about it in this. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4. Reversing. Essentials. Track 3 URLs. Checks every 24 hours. Pricing. At least $10 a month. This is too low. This is too low too. This tier, third tier up. 3 notification channels. List those out if you need to here. Checks every 2 hours. That's a good checking rate. Track 20 sites, maybe 15 sites, maybe 15 URLs, 15. And then pro, I mean, you just want to amp this up super high. So make that, I mean, I think this should be like $79 or $99. 79 might be the answer. So free 10. Wait, let's see. Standard. Let's make, I don't know. So check what the competitors are doing and align with that closely. Let's take a look really quick. Pricing. Free 7 for 10 monitors. Team $30. Enterprise $50. Okay, so maybe you are along the right lines. So free solo team enterprise. This is Hotjar. It's different. So the pricing is probably higher. Yeah. Visual ping. Let's see what theirs is. 25 pages. 5 pages. Free. Starter, $10. $25. Ooh. And $50. And then $100. Okay. So maybe you're closer to the right mark. Let's go back. Where is it? Okay. So maybe a professional. I still think if you can get it up to like $69, $79, that's going to be key. And you might have to just make it unlimited and I don't know. Taper it off if you have to. Pull back. This one, try to get it up to $25 or $30, and then this one $12 maybe, and then free. I don't know. Think about it, but I think it'd be interesting to know the breakdown for your user base in how many people are on start or on free, how many are on tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Just tweaking the pricing a little bit can radically change the revenue numbers to your business. And when it comes, so you are increasing at a very sharp rate. So free, 5, 10, 35. This is only doubling though. So I think you need to do at least 2 to 3x whatever this is for this price. And then close to the same for this one. So you get a little curve going up. All right. I went over the 30 minutes. I'm not surprised. But I hope that gives you some ideas to think about and churn on. See, now here's some good info that I didn't even look at. I would probably call that features or no, it is how it works. All right, or get started. But I hope that gives you things to think about, improvements that you could make, and just get your brain churning. All right, take care, and I'm looking forward to seeing your progress on this product.